Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Grow of It podcast. Here we're going to review the England tour of New Zealand. 3 T20s, 3 ODIs. I have a feeling the T20 review will be extremely quick. But we'll see what we can do. It is the prelude series before the Ashes. It's kind of like a warm-up if England want to see it as that way. They started off with 3 T20s. Unfortunately, the 3 T20s, only one was played. The first one was washed out. The second one, England won. And the third game was washed out as well. So we're only going to review the second T20. So as there it is, T20s. England won the series 1-0. As there was only one game played, 2 washouts. In this game, England batted first. They made 4, a big score, very, very big score, mainly due to Harry Brook and Phil Salt. England batted first. They made 4 for 236. Harry Brook and Phil Salt going absolutely bonkers. Harry Brook, 78 off 35 balls. Phil Salt, very good white ball player, 85 off 56 balls. New Zealand, in reply, only managed 151. Abdul Rashid picked up 4 wickets. He was the pick of the bowlers. 171 is not a bad total, actually. It's not too bad. It's competitive, but it was just a massive score, mainly due to Harry Brook and Phil Salt. Kane Williamson returned in these series, as did Joe Root. Joe Root doesn't play a lot of white ball cricket for England, so he returned. Kane Williamson also returned. Kane Williamson was, well, we didn't know what Kane Williamson would be like. He only played 1 game. So disappointing. We didn't really see the best of this series, unfortunately. However, in the record books, it will say England won this series 1-0. Now we're going to move on to the ODIs. Much better the ODIs. We managed 3 games. All 3 games were played. And it was a complete whitewash. I don't have it on the board. ODIs. New Zealand won 3-0 quite comfortably. The third match was actually pretty good. So they're all good matches. The third match, went right down to the wire. So it was a competitive series, very competitive series in the 50 over format. Joe Root still played. Kane Williamson did not play in the third game. So it was an on and off series despite England winning. Despite New Zealand winning 3-0. We're going to talk about mainly today's match. There was a match today. In England weren't really good enough. They have top order problems throughout the first 3 games. Ball movement was a huge problem. Movement off the seam. Their top order could not deal with that. Root had a very poor series. Ducker had a poor series. Brook was good as usual. Brethel had a poor series. So they're really struggling with ball movement. And with New Zealand on their pitches, even in white ball cricket, you're going to get movement off the seam. And England couldn't handle that. Really couldn't handle that this series. That was the problem. Too much work to do from Harry Brook, Doris Butler. Sam Curran had to make some runs. So their top order just really struggled. New Zealand picked a inexperienced bowling, or not inexperienced, they picked a young bowling unit. And they really did well. Their bowlers were fantastic. Satner wasn't really required as much because of the top order collapses, mainly due to the seam bowlers. New Zealand in their run chase actually really struggled as well. They managed to take this down with 2. They won this game by 2 wickets to spare. I'm talking about the third ODI game. So they won this by 2 wickets. So they were chasing a very minimal target. And New Zealand just got there. They just got there with some good hitting late at the tail enders. So it was a better series than 3-0. I know 3-0 suggests that England got blown away. They did a couple in games, but their bowlers. It was just a bowling series. It was really a bowling series, which you're going to get in New Zealand. So England win the series. Sorry, New Zealand win the series 3-0. They whitewash 3-0. The crowds were pretty disappointing, I have to say, especially the third ODI game. I don't know how that helps white ball cricket in New Zealand. I understand that this game was a dead rubber. It didn't really mean anything much. But maybe New Zealand need to look at what Australia do when they play anyone outside England and India. They have it in smaller arenas, smaller stadiums. We saw the Winter Series in South Africa, where they played it in much smaller venues. It helped because there were the winter sports were going on, rugby league, union, and AFL football. So the major stadiums could not be taken, but they played in stadiums like Darwin, Monaco, over Canberra. They played in where they played Townsville. So maybe New Zealand cricket need to play in smaller arenas, smaller grounds. So a stadium that holds 20,000, you're only getting 3,000 people. That's not a good look compared to a stadium that holds 5K or 10K and you get 4,000, 5,000 people. Will look so much more respectable on TV. So that was a little disappointing, the crowds. New Zealand are not the only ones. I don't want to target New Zealand like I'm picking on New Zealand. They're not the only ones. But I think they need to do better with their arrangement of stadiums. Probably schedule it in the summer, not in rainy season or the winter or spring, whatever it is in New Zealand. At this time, it is spring in Australia. September to November is spring, and then December to February is summer in Australia. So maybe New Zealand need to host that in February. It is hard with scheduling. The India and Australia series is going on. That should have been done in February, to be honest, but because of the Champions Trophy, it couldn't. So the ICC really handicapped themselves there. That's why we're seeing white ball series played before the Ashes, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't really like that at all as a preparation. But this is the tour New Zealand done. England did. So it's a 50-50 result. They won the T20s. They lost the one-day internationals. Disappointed there's no test matches. I thought that was really poor by New Zealand. At the end of the day, New Zealand is the one that schedule it. They book who's coming. Yes, ICC say we want you to play this team at this certain time. Sorry, this team. But it is up to New Zealand when they host it. They don't, the ICC don't come out and say we want you to play England in this month. That is completely up to the New Zealand board and England board to negotiate a deal. Just like next year when Bangladesh come to Australia, because it's part of the World Test Championship, I can absolutely guarantee you that will not be played in the summer. That will be played in the Australian winter, probably in Darwin or Townsville. So you do not have to play. You do not have to play where or when a series is played. All you got to do is just play them. And I think New Zealand scheduled this really poorly. I think their attitude towards red ball cricket has been appalling, to be honest. That is a pot shot. I know it's easy to throw stones when you're from England, England, Australia, and India, like myself. I'm from Australia. But, their only trophy, New Zealand's only trophy, came 25 years ago. Take out the Test Championship. Came 25 years ago in the Champions Trophy. Since then, they've won one ICC trophy, and that was a test trophy. So they've only won one trophy in the last 25 years, and that was a test trophy. So you would think that test cricket would be priority. I know it's expensive to host test cricket. We cannot be in a position where boards can afford to play test cricket, Australia, India, England. I get that. But this is a big series. When England come anywhere, you've got to have a test. I think you've got to have a test match. A one-off. Don't have to have a 3-test series. Don't have to have a 5-test series. Just a one-off. And I don't see how this. I think this tour is a waste of time. If you're England right now, sorry. If I'm an Australian, this happened. It did happen to Australia. They went to New Zealand. I thought it was a complete waste of time. There were no test matches. And I think this tour has been a waste of time. There's been no test matches. And that's something New Zealand really have to fix. Just considering, like I just said, their only title in the last 25 years is a test trophy. And we have players neglecting test match cricket. Kane Williamson has not played test cricket for a while. Trent Boult was an excellent test match cricketer. retired from that format to play T20s, white ball cricket, IPL. I think that's bad attitude in my opinion. I think that's really bad attitude. And I don't really care if people are going to criticize me and say, well, you're from Australia, you don't have to worry about that. Well, at the same time, you make your own money. What do you do with it determines who you are. So if New Zealand made $50 million and they want to put $50 million into ODI cricket or white ball cricket per se, I'm just using this as a reference. Well, I'm sorry, but that's their problem. That's their money. They can do whatever they want with their money. I'm just saying that if you're having a team tour like England and you're putting this in, I don't know what season it is in New Zealand. I assume it's the same season as Australia. I'm assuming it's spring. If you're not having it in the hotter seasons, well, that's on New Zealand. You had plenty of time to schedule this game. Like I said, the ICC do not tell you where and when. They just want it to be done. So you scheduled the T20s in the rain seasons along with the rugby union. You collided with them, which pissed off a lot of people. I know this for a fact. So that's on New Zealand. That's pretty poor. And it tells me that crowds do not want to come. So maybe the crowds want Test cricket. Maybe the crowds only want T20 cricket. I think that's poor. I think that the public need to get behind red ball cricket in New Zealand. Your only trophy came. Your one trophy since 25 years is a Test trophy, a red ball trophy. And I thought when you won this trophy, I thought you'd be taking a step in the right direction. Not that New Zealand red ball cricket has always been weak. It's been pretty good. Pretty good. I can't complain. They always come to Australia. They'll be playing 4 tests next year, which is a good thing. But this is a step back in my opinion. This is not on. But like I said, it's their money, their time. They do what they want. Don't agree with it. It is what it is. But for England, their tour is over. They'll be heading to Australia. They will not be going home. Well, they could be going home. It'd make no sense if they go back home, stay 2 weeks, and come to Australia. That'd make no sense. Has happened before. Don't think they'll be doing it this time. But no. Ashes are up next. So they'll be heading to Australia. First match is in Perth, I think. Is it in Perth? It's in Perth. I think it might be in Perth. It is under lights. No, sorry, it's not under lights. It's a normal Test match. I don't even know. I'm just whacked out by New Zealand's reluctance to play red ball cricket. So look, the Ashes are coming. They start in 3 weeks' time. England will be prepared for that. They have no warm-up games in England. That's another thing that surprises me. They have 0 warm-up games. They decided not to do that. When we win 5-0, I hope that they don't use that as an excuse because he had every chance. But anyway, there's a little jab at England and James Butler. Shout out to James Butler, but you're losing 5-0, mate. That's just happening. You haven't got the batsmen to hurt Australia. And there's going to be green top pitches. Oh, I hope he's not watching this. Hope you don't clip this, James. Don't clip it. Don't clip it. Don't play it on your show. But yeah, when England do come, I don't think their bowlers can hurt Australia as much as our bowlers can hurt their batting lineup. It will be a bowling series, but I think we're too good. Too good. Anyway, we won't start the Ashes stuff. We'll leave that with James Butler. Thank you so much for watching. This has been England's tour of New Zealand. 1-0 in the T20s, 3-0 loss to New Zealand in the ODIs. My name is Coach Lucas. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is subscribe. That's it. Just subscribe. Don't need to watch. Don't need to view. Just subscribe. Thank you so much. And we will see you for the next show. Goodbye for now.